Greetings everyone. Today we want to go over the procedure of installing PDF2ID, the PDF to InDesign conversion technology from Recosoft. PDF2ID is a plugin for InDesign, but it's important to understand that PDF2ID comes packaged in an installer and you must use the installer no matter what. I'm demoing this on the Mac, but the process for Windows is essentially the same. So here on the desktop, I have the PDF2ID installer. But before we double click to run the installer, we need to make sure that InDesign is not running. Otherwise, the PDF2ID installer will not proceed with the installation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click here and the installer starts running. Now we get this welcome screen initially, so we're going to click continue. Then we get the README screen, which contains important last-minute and up-to-date information. Again, we just click continue here. Next, we get to the license agreement screen. Please make sure to read this as it clearly explains the licensing terms. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to click OK and proceed ahead. So I'm just going to click continue here and click the agree button and say I've read the license agreement and proceed ahead. Now we have to enter the username, company name, and serial code. So I'm going to enter Recosoft over here and Recosoft again. If you don't have a company name, just enter your own name and that'll be fine. And I'm going to enter the serial code and say continue. Now we get to the screen that asks you to choose or locate where InDesign is installed. This is very important, otherwise PDF2ID will not install correctly. So we click choose here and we navigate to the folder where, or to the directory that InDesign is installed, where InDesign is installed. And in this case, so I have Adobe InDesign CC. I'm going to install PDF2ID against InDesign CC. So I'm going to choose the Adobe InDesign CC folder. That's all I have to do, and click open up here. At this point in time, PDF2ID will, the PDF2ID installer will realize that you've chosen the Adobe InDesign folder, and it'll validate it. And it shows the exact path over here. Now, once we've done this, we can just click continue again. And it'll inform us the amount of disk space it's going to take and occupy. So we just say click install and it'll ask you to enter your password and it'll start installing the software and we're done. So the installation is now over and we just say close and we can fire up InDesign. So let's just go and fire up InDesign. Once we fire up InDesign, we should see a Recosoft menu and the PDF2ID convert PDF/XPS command. Let's just verify that it's there. As InDesign is firing up. And InDesign takes a little time, but it should start up anytime now. So here we go. It's really important to understand that you must install PDF2ID from the main user account. You can run it from any ordinary account, but you must install it from the main admin account, basically. So here we have the Recosoft menu, and we have the PDF2ID convert PDF/XPS file command. So we can start converting PDFs and Illustrator files and Windows XPS files to to InDesign format. So now PDF2ID also creates a folder called PDF2ID version 4.0 inside your applications folder, and it installs the InDesign plugin. Now please don't move or modify any of these folders, as it's important that the components reside in the proper place, otherwise PDF2ID will not function. And that's really it. The installation is very simple, very straightforward, and there should be no problems once it's installed. PDF2ID has been engineered and developed by Recosoft. For more information, please visit us at www.recosoft.com. That's www.recosoft.com. Thank you and goodbye.